This is Hannibal here from the Hannibal TV on YouTube with a daily wrestling news update for you. Hulk Hogan, there's more news on his neck surgery. I guess there were just some complications due to his neck surgery that led him to be in the hospital for a while. No word on if he's actually been released yet. His ex best friend, Bubba the Love Sponge, gave some information yesterday that seemed very detailed regarding people being told to come and say their goodbyes. Uh, that has been denied from people that are directly in Hulk Hogan's camp. Although I haven't seen any like statement from Hulk Hogan himself on how he's doing. One thing's for sure, he's sure as hell not accepting the challenge of WWE jobber Paul Roma, who recently wanted to challenge Hulk Hogan, who's had over double the matches of Roma and is legally handicapped, to an MMA match. Which, by the way, Roma's also younger than him. Great timing to challenge a guy when he's on his deathbed to an MMA match. Roma, real good. Apparently, regarding Vince McMahon looking to buy bare knuckle fighting championships, he had spoken to the guy running it, David Feldman. It's apparently owned by Triller, who is apparently not doing that well business-wise overall, according to Dave Meltzer. I don't know if Triller is the same people that owned it when it was called Fight TV and they just changed their name or what, but the Fight TV people were slime balls. Because they were using my footage for a while, and at one point in time, actually TNA did this to me too under the old Scott D'Amore regime. They were using my footage on their streaming service, and then at various times they kept using my footage and just stopped paying me for it, to the point where in both cases I had to be real blunt about, you better take my stuff off your platforms. So I don't know if Triller bought the Fight TV or they just changed their name, but in my experience they were slime balls. But this does go to show that Vince is looking for fight companies to buy. Fight companies that have potential but haven't reached their potential. Meltzer says he could see Vince trying to buy TNA. He is unsure if the WWE agreements with TNA would prevent a Vince buying them or not. Here's one thing I totally disagree with Meltzer on. He says he doesn't think if Vince buys TNA that he could beat AEW run by Tony Khan. I 150% believe Vince would beat AEW. AEW is absolute crap. Okay? I'm sorry if you like it, but it's only nerds that like it. It's just the fact of the matter. It's not seen as a cool product at all. Let's take a look at AEW. They have Mercedes Moné, who has drawn literally flies. Now they've put 5 titles on her. Business has only gone down since they hired her, guys. They're going to smaller and smaller buildings and drawing less and less. The Mexico thing was an outlier. That's a special thing. Where if they go out of the country where it's a rare thing, they can still do okay. But like, for instance, in Kent, Washington next week, sales are crap. And by the way, Mercedes Moné's boyfriend, the Beast Mortos, is suddenly in the main event picture because he's banging Mercedes Moné. That really makes your company look cool. I'm sorry, guys. That's just, I do not even want to watch 5 minutes of that company. And I hope Vince buys TNA or buys MLW and takes one of them to the next level. NXT, by the way, did a 0.16 rating Tuesday night. Here's another thing I disagree with Meltzer on. He says Vince's name is as bad as it is good these days, and he may have problems securing a TV deal. I don't think his name is as bad as it is good. If you asked 100 people on the street if they knew about the Janelle Grant lawsuit, I don't even think 5% will have heard of it because it's only being reported in the wrestling news now. And the whole Vince scandal is pretty much blown over. He's not getting any criminal charges against him. Most people care more about seeing better wrestling products because WWE right now is struggling. They got Gunther against Goldberg coming up. 58-year-old Goldberg, who I'm a fan of, but you can tell that's not going to be a squash match. And I don't think Gunther is a star. He's a mid-card guy. Roman Reigns was one of their best, coolest performers, and he's been sitting on the sidelines for a long time now. The Rock isn't appearing. The John Cena heel turn has fallen flat. I would love to see another company like Vince McMahon taking over TNA or MLW inject some new interest into the wrestling business. That's just my opinion. Tell me your opinion in the comments. Tonight at 10:15 Eastern, I am interviewing the author of the new Abdullah the Butcher book that's #1 on Amazon. And he had a lot of issues with Abdullah the Butcher and his mistress, Jocelyn Marshall, when putting this book together, to the point where he eventually dumped them because they had taken money from fans and not refunded them. And by the way, I was listening to a Dark Side of the Ring podcast on Abdullah the Butcher the other day. For anyone believes that he has no money, you guys are the biggest marks ever. Because Dark Side of the Ring was saying when they first interviewed him for the Brody episode, he said when they arrived, by the way, if you want me to talk about myself, it's going to be extra. This pay is only for the Brody pay. He's one of the shrewdest businessmen in the history of wrestling and one of the greatest workers and greatest slime balls in the history of